Hi, I'm Laura Crapo, and this is my dog, Dr. Disco. Hello. This is Dr. Disco. He may or may not make noise during this video. I'm definitely gonna make noise. Okay. So this video, I've been thinking about Walt Disney. He's in suspended life, like frozen right now, and which is it's a Disney movie too, right? So I was thinking about like just like without being intuitive or whatever, trying to focus on that. I just thought like he'd be like pretty pissed probably to see like some of this stuff. Like his when you look at like what Disney made during his lifetime, his animated lifetime. Um like pun intended, I guess. He was very artistic, labor intensive, and then like the stuff, you know, like kids and teen shows and stuff that Disney's put out. Like I don't need to spell it out for you. Anyway, it just would be probably a bit of a shock for him. So I thought like it'd be interesting to do a video on him, see how he's doing there, and keeping him alive till some date. Maybe he's already been reanimated. Let's just check in and see. I'm picking up on like two different things. It's interesting. It's like two versions of his consciousness. So, do they have like the technology now to talk to someone's consciousness, like out of body or stuff like that? Uh, let's just say hypothetically they do. Um, it'd be funny. It'd be funny to have that like speaker box at the boardroom table. If he's given the green light. Let me just see. Okay. It's like kind of deep. So, okay, let's say there's like a smaller uh, vibes consciousness of Walt Disney, and then like a one that's louder and more accessible to people. I'm gonna say that like the technology that they use to bring him through uh, is has some. It's not like pure. Like there's let's say the middleman would be the technology that they made, which has flaws. Like, um, so it's sort of like a cardboard version of him, I would say. If someone's trying to like, how like, like, when it's 3 a.m. and you're watching YouTube, and then you see that like I forget what it's called, like the chroma. Anyway, it's like a TV that you can watch and go at any time and like see what's happening. Um, like because that TV was made by a person, you could say it's like imperfect. So it's that same type of imperfection I'm picking up on, that it's like it's not a full version of him. All right. Yeah. All right. And then I feel like there's this more vulnerable consciousness of his that is like in his body. Um and then like if he were to be reanimated, it would be this vulnerable, like you could say sick, because he's like in this physically compromising position of, I guess he was sick when he was put into be frozen, so he could, when his illness could be cured, they would reanimate him and heal him, I guess. Um, so if I'm picking up on, like, him being sick or being frozen would, like, obviously not it's not ideal, like, so, okay. I know I'm not, like, laughing, but, like, I know I'm, like, laughing, but it's, like, when I connect with, uh, my guides and, like, with God, and it's, like, it's like a I'm trying to connect with, like, the best possible energy, like, the most loving, honest kinda energy, and it's, like, it has a happiness to it, so, like, if I'm, like, giggling, it's, partly due to that. Okay. Um, there's, like, he's, like, if he has descendants, there's a focus on them and, like, how much time has passed and, like, the sort of disconnect in terms of, not really knowing them. I feel like, I get this okay, there's this, like, dark, like, kinda blackish thing. I don't know if he had cancer at the advanced stage, but I'm picking up on these, like, black sort of blobs, like, if they were obviously, they wouldn't just reanimate him, like, at home or whatever. I just feel like he would really need, like, a lot of, like, instant, uh, surgery, like, or something like that. Like, it would be very, complicated and invested reanimation with surgeons, on hand. I feel like okay, in terms of, like, the status quo of, like, the Disney company or and his perspective, and this is just for entertainment and educational purposes only, like, it's just, having some fun here. Okay, so there's I feel like some confusion over, like, the cruise ships and the different, aspects of the branched out company. I feel like he's, like, wants to draw, like, a dividing line, like, "I made this, and, like, everything outside of that, like, I didn't make," and there's some sort of, like, I guess, Steve Jobs versus Apple kinda vibes I'm getting, and, like, if he were to come back, like, he would wanna make it clear, like, I made just this stuff, like, I made Disney. Did he make Disney World in his lifetime? He definitely made Disneyland. Um, I'm gonna say he made Disneyland and Disney World might have been after, but, like, I visited Disneyland in the in the '70s, and you could just, like, drive right up, just like in, that movie. Like, oh, what's it called? American Vacation or something like that. Uh, yeah, you just pull right up, park, walk, you're on Main Street, USA instantly, and, anyway, so that's more like the vibe that I get, like, you know, I think the feeling I get more is, like, family fun rather than, like, all this sort of, like, bizarre psychological aspects that, like, a lot of these other, uh, Disney products, like, afterwards, have, and by that I mean like these like inexpensively made like TV shows and stuff that they have. All right. Walt Disney. It's really a different kind of reading, like, he's a different kind of person, and not everybody's, like, frozen, waiting to be reanimated. Okay, so I also get, like, if he were to wake up today and see the political climate, like, I get a judgy vibe from him about what's, happening currently. I don't know if he was, like, really invested in politics. My feeling is yes, and that, like, he put a lot of investment and time into, like, partnering with politicians to, like, make a positive impact, or, like, to I don't know if he was, like, let's say he's, like, Republican, he wanted to, like, keep what was good and working, and that took some effort because like, the tide is always changing in life and whatever. I'm just getting that, like, kinda Republican vibes off him. Not in the sense that that word is used today, and not in a divisive way. Like, uh I'm not a political scientist or whatever, but, like, um I'm not gonna get into it, but whatever. Okay, but, like, when the founding fathers, like, is not the word republic used in it. Okay, um, what's his name? Okay, what's his name? Also, I think you'd be really surprised at how, like, food like, what people eat has changed so drastically, like, and, like, junk food. I don't even know if junk food even really I think back then, like, hamburgers were made of beef, like, 100%, and, like, cheese wasn't, overly processed and stuff. So, he yeah, I'm feeling like he's judgy about, like, how unhealthy the diet is, and, like, the it would be, like, a shock to him. Okay, like, I feel like if he were to be reanimated, he would wanna just kinda, like doesn't he have, like, a house on top of, like, I took a celebrity houses bus tour, and it was, like, making the driver roll his eyes because like, anytime he'd ask, like, a question, like, "Who designed this house?" I knew instantly he was getting kinda mad. So, like, I remember this tour, uh, well, and there was, like, a cistern, because he lived on a hill and, like, he had enough water, in this giant cistern for their home. Anyway, I'm getting the feeling like he would wanna, like, be relatively isolated in his, like, castle on the hill, uh, just because it's too much what's going on, and, like, obviously, the population has exploded since his time. Like, even in my lifetime, like, population's, like, I don't know, whatever, tripled or something. Okay. Yeah, so it's just, like, a bit much, and, like, the TV channels, like, like, my grandpa had a setup like Elvis with the 3 TVs, like, the 3 networks, like and there's more than 3 channels now. Like, that it's more than anyone could ever see in many lifetimes, so it's like, I feel like he would have boundaries around, like, what he's exposed to. And I think he'd, like, be crying and missing people he loves that he who are gone. This is, like, intense reading. Okay, um, in terms of, would he, like, take charge of the company again? No, because it's become something completely, like, fractally off in every direction, and he would maybe just say, like, "I'm interested in continuing this tiny slice of what we do," which would be what like, he started out as an animator, right? So, maybe it would just that portion of the company he would oversee, or he'd just oversee projects, one project at a time that he wants to create himself or oversee himself. Um, I feel like there's some kinda, in terms of, like, time travel, and in this way, it would be like a sort of slow version of that. Uh, it's, like, maybe you think, like, your time I mean, I guess his motivation was health rather than, like, "Oh, I wanna be alive in 100 years," or whatever. Um, Honestly, like, with how people treat cancer today, still, it's like not everybody survives the treatment, so I don't know if, whoever's deciding when to reanimate him, um, maybe it's still not a good time. Um I feel like I'm getting like a 7-year something, so maybe there is a specific time when it's supposed to happen, but it's kinda like, "Okay, guys, let's have a solution." Um, I'm also getting, like, 3 years. I feel like there's a 3 years where he'd be, like, kinda sleepy and, like, needing time to get well, even just to come out of the freezing thing. And then maybe in 7 years or 6 to 7 years after that. No. Okay. Okay, there's in 3 years, maybe they'd unfreeze him, and then he'd need, like, 3 or 4 years to kinda get better, and then maybe there'd be, like, a drop, like, "Hey, like, he's back." And then I feel like it wouldn't just be health-wise, it'd be mental health. So there's, like, a I guess I'm not fixing the camera. The mental health factor would be massive too. Not that he's lost it, it's just, like, for anyone, it would be shocking and dramatic, and not everything is, like, amazing in terms of ecologically, like, there's always good things happening in the world, but, like, in terms of what he was used to, it would be shocking. But, like, right now, it's, like, a kinda crazy time in the world. Okay. Okay, Walt Disney. Like, I would say too, just like that women feel more empowered now, and that might be an adjustment too. Like, so, yeah, like, I don't know if he was, like, a rascal in terms of the ladies or they just get like, there's different rules now. Um, okay. I think, like, s someone just, like, kinda like when a president is sworn in, apparently, like, they're lectured and told, like, how everything works or whatever. I feel like that sort of thing would happen where he'd be counseled on, like, "Okay, this is how we do things now, and this is how you do banking online, and this is a blah, 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 blah." Like, he would just be like, "Okay, I'm just gonna do what I'm familiar with, and I'm gonna shrink my world to cope." 'Cause, like, you know, I mean, he's just not I don't think he really wants to go there. K I don't feel like he's a big computer nerd, and he's not like, "Show me how this works." Because like, he created this whole thing, and, that's what he knows, so like, he put in the hours, like, he put his 10,000 hours into animating, creating, a product. He's, like, old. Like, they're not gonna rejuvenate him and reanimate him, like, he's gonna be reanimated into an old guy, so he may be stuck in his ways. Um, I feel like the temptation might be for people who have all the toys to, like, let's say, like, someone like Elon Musk would be like, "Let's put the chip in his head," or what that would just be, like, problematic, just like how looking at that that, TV thing where you can, like, read, uh, at any time, any place, like, what happened. It would just be problematic. It's like a filter, and it's not perfect. I mean, there's videos of even, like, Elon Musk, like, glitching or whatever, like, I don't know what, for whatever reason. I just feel like there's the temptation because it's like, well, we have it, like, we have like, it's like it's like mashed potatoes, like, we have a Cuisinart, let's just, like, blitz the potatoes, but it's gonna ruin your mashed potato. So, um, yeah, don't do that. It's like, instead of just keeping an old crusty old drawing from Michelangelo or something, and then, like, going, "Well, we could have more of these if we make it AI." Like, he can still make art if we ask AI to make more paint drawings, like, no. Um, so, like, no, what is it called? What is it? Like, the $6 million man, like, don't do that to Walt Disney. Alright, so I wonder what the conversion to today would be for the $6 million man. Okay, so Walt Disney. That's my dog snoring. Okay. So you guys snoring. Waiting for me to say something. Okay. Walt Disney. Also, he might be, like, really surprised at, like, different books that are out. Like, he's just, like, really, I wanna say, like, I'll go back and see specifically what I wanna say here. Okay, let's say he's, like, got a bit of religion in him. Like, I think for somebody coming back, I don't know, when did he get I don't know, like, did he get frozen, like, in my childhood, like, in the '70s or uh, it would have to be, like, in the '80s, wouldn't it? Because like, the technology wouldn't even exist. I'm just gonna I'm gonna bore you even more for a second and look up when he was frozen. Alright. Dun, 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 dun. Are you not gonna tell me? Oh my goodness. Oh, 1966? Okay. Oh, um, okay. That would have been really rudimentary. Well, I guess to freeze is like we had refrigerators. So, um, okay. Yeah, so I feel like he would see this even if he saw one book that was just, like, over the line, ethically, like, that would be enough for him to be, like, feeling like we're in end times right now because it's, like, in your face, I'm just feeling like he would feel like that, and this is maybe why he would feel more comfortable in his house on the hill, like, um, what would he do that would be, like, positive if he were back? Let me just see. I mean, I get that there would be, like, like like a 10-part interview series or something, like let me see. I don't know if he was, like, sensitive during his lifetime. I'm really getting a lot of sensitivity, and I don't know if it's from the trauma of being frozen and reanimated and then, like, seeing the world as it is now, how unfamiliar it is. Like, I don't know if he was capable of I mean, he's creative, so he must have been somewhat adept spiritually, like, getting inspiration, whatever. You could call that loosely, like, meditation and, I'm just trying to think, like, what purpose would he find in his life coming back in that state? It just feels, like, traumatic, like, it feels like you know how it feels to watch, like, the first like, the first Handmaid's Tale, like, film? Uh, it's like, do do do, like, they're just walking in the woods and then, they're kidnapped into this other world, and it's sort of I feel like if he's not able let's say let's say if his brain was at all damaged from being frozen, he couldn't access his creativity or he couldn't access his like, spiritual comfort, like, then you'd really be, like, stuck in a small version of life that would be scary to him, I would feel. Mm, and, like, people might be well-meaning and kind to him, but it wouldn't erase the fear factor. I feel like it would be, like, pretty intense. I don't know, like, I feel like he at best, I feel like he would have some kind of very personal message that would be, like, pretty interesting because he's, like I mean, there's just people from the '60s still alive, from around that time today, but, like, his perspective would be very intense and, like, it feels like kinda like this very, like, white, kinda crystalline vibe, like, very intense, very sincere, and, like, urgent. And not everybody would, like, take heed to what he's saying, but I think it would, like, be a profound and memorable, significant moment that would be, like, in the history books, as it were. I don't know if there's books like that on the web. Um, I don't know if he'd, like, visit, like, MIT or something, but anybody that would work with him would have to deal with his, like, very, like, nonstop emotions. It's sort of like someone who could never stop crying, like, they're living their entire day, their tears are streaming down his face, like, that kind of thing. And I feel that they're really I mean, if I'm seeing at MIT, like, the chances of them wanting to, like, put some of their new toys in him or, like, I really advise against that because it's just gonna be a distortion, uh, I mean and then that leads to the whole discussion of, like, the ethical problems of putting, like, a personality in a robot or something like that, like, there's, I'm sure people have written papers on that, and that probably will never stop. I feel like if you would feel somewhere comfortable somewhere, it would probably be in Japan for obvious reasons. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. That was, like, pretty interesting. If I know I shut the comments off because, like, I don't wear my glasses when I do these, like, I feel like this is, like, a third eye blocker or something, but, and also it's like, I don't know, like, everybody we all have our opinions, right? Um, but if someone wants to recommend a subject, feel free to email me. If you want me to make, more episodes and stuff, feel free to support my channel, whether it's liking, sharing, or subscribing, and or donating. There's stuff in my description should you wish to do that. And I appreciate very much you having the patience to sit through this video. Bravo for your and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.